Well, we're actually really into high school sports, so we want to ask you the importance of a high school coach you think in a player's life.
Well, the best example I could give you is the fact that I remain in contact with all three of mine, football, baseball, and basketball coaches from Hayward High. They definitely make a huge impact on your life, and so I'm grateful for the impact they had on mine, and every chance I get, I try and see them.
And those coaches that you mentioned, did they kind of sway you in a direction to become a coach yourself?
No, not really. Not to actually coach, but I think the sacrifices that people make along the way to give us an opportunity to succeed in life. I just recognize that, and I had Coach Clark and Rankin in football, and Coach Fusey in basketball, and then Coach Basinius in baseball, and they all remain part of my life.
And last question, what was your fondest memory as a high school player, any sport you played?
Well, I probably have one for each sport, but football-wise, we won the North Coast section, and we played in the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, which obviously I grew up a huge Raiders fan, so to be able to play there was very cool. And I sacked quarterback and knocked him out of the game, and we won a tight game, so that's probably the best one.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure. Primarily, I'm a sounding board. But I'm not going in tinkering with anything on special teams or offense. We have good people there, and they're doing their job. And again, I will be in charge of game day decisions and that type of stuff. But beyond that, no, we're not. I'm not going to go in and we're going to come out this week and have a brand new punt team approach. How we're going to do rugby style, and we're going to run all over. I've had these ideas in my mind for a long time, so here they come. Yeah.
What will that 4th and 1 decision be? Go for it.
Oh, we'll see.
Mort, for the first time in a long time, there really seems to be a sense of optimism about what the Raiders are doing. They have a quarterback. They did play well down the stretch. What do you make of Jack Del Rio and the fit there?
The irony, actually, of those things you just said is that Tony Sperano was the head coach, and Tony Sperano was the guy that the players, including Derek Carr, had thrown their support behind. But with Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, and John Madden, the Hall of Famer, former Raiders coach, that support was behind Jack Del Rio. And Mark Davis was said to be enamored with Del Rio for a while here. And Sperano, even though he was a finalist, never really got a meeting with Mark Davis. And so yesterday, Mark Davis, John Madden, and then when I came in this morning, word came down that it was going to be Del Rio. And as Adam just sent in a little while ago, they have finished that contract with Del Rio.
And I am really, really excited to be in this position. I'm honored. I'm very grateful, very humbled, in getting to know the front office that Mark Davis has put together, and Reggie. These are bright people, and I'm really excited to work with them. It's been very impressive getting to know them and getting this start in this short amount of time that I've got to know. Mark Bedane, who was just given a nice promotion, deservedly so, Dan Ventrelli, Tom Delaney, and many others. This is a strong building. I'm excited to join this group of men and pursue the idea and the goal of bringing back the Raiders to greatness. This is an organization that has been an excellent organization for a number of years, and it's fallen on some hard times recently, but the foundation is in place for us to be great again.
This organization was built on a tradition of decades of accomplishment, a commitment to being the very best by teams who were feared both on and off the field. It meant something to wear the silver and black, to wear that helmet, and to play only to win.
I got here in 1981. It was Gene Upshaw, it was Art Shell, it was Ted Hendricks. It was passing down from generation to generation. This is what it means to be a Raider. You feel that responsibility in your role here?
Yeah, I think so. This is the Raiders. When people come into our house, they need to respect the Oakland Raiders. And that all was because of what was taught to me when I first got in here.
For years now, the Raiders are on the schedule. It's a W. It's kind of a cakewalk. And now I think teams are starting to fear playing the team.
Well, you earn that. I believe it starts in the trenches. You can't do anything without having men, real men in the trenches. I think that's what the Raiders are always about.
As we began to lose games and all these things, I just stuck to what I believed. I saw it in us that we could be that. I saw it in us that we could, be that team and be those kind of people that win consistently.
The silver and black are back.
You had an owner that was willing to invest in a young quarterback that I thought had a chance to develop. If you have that in place, you can build the rest.
What a throw by Derek Carr!
I would really lean on Charles Woodson. He didn't miss a rep of practice last year. That blew my mind. And when I watch him, I try and do things that he does.
I wanted to show the guys, man, that I'm going, to the last whistle. That's what the Raiders are. That's what the Raiders were. They fought, every game. When somebody came in here and played the Raiders, they knew they were in the game.
Plunkett, Stabler, Carr.
Not yet.
They started somewhere too.
That's right.
I think I can speak for all the former players when I say we're extremely proud and excited about what's happening here now.
One thing Biletnikoff used to always say to us, he said, if you want people to stop talking about the old Raiders so much, then you go out there and win.
Well, the message was, I believe, we believe, let's go out and show that we believe with our effort. We came here to play a full 60 minutes. He's just getting better and better, and he's a great young man. So I didn't realize he actually had 5 sacks on the day. I knew he was awesome. I knew he made a big play for the safety, and I knew he'd been back there. I thought 3, maybe 4, but I didn't realize it was 5. So really, tremendous effort.
Coach Jack don't really let anything, too much get to him. Keeps his calm, he keeps his poise. He has a swagger about him, and he believed in us.
A lot different this year in terms of having the continuity with the staff returning, coming back here. Coaching staff and scouting staff have been through it before. We understand what we're looking for, how we're going to go through the process. And then this kicks it off when you come here to Indy and in this combine. You start looking at these college players who are preparing for the draft. Reggie and I are both good people about one thing, and that's helping the Raiders win. So we both believe in big physical players, big physical team. We're going to continue to invest in big physical men up front and keep growing this thing. I know, the idea is at some point to become strong enough to where you're drafting and re-signing your own. That's the goal. But right now, we'll continue to use free agency as a supplement until we get our roster strong enough and start putting a couple drafts back to back where you can then start re-signing and targeting your own guys instead of going out in free agency. We're going to build a great defense here, and it takes a little time, and we're going to run the ball better and we're going to play better defense. Those are 2 things you can look for in 2016. That'll go with continued development of Derek Carr and the passing game and our offense and all those things, special teams, all those other things that add up to winning. But we've got to play better defense. We will, and we've got to run the ball more. We established a really solid foundation. We've established a winning culture, and now we need to learn how it translates into winning more games, not just being competitive in games.